not a drop to drink. A long time ago, when the Romans still alive in their new paradise, it is south of Europe, South Europe. This was an amazing place near the Africa. This time, the Romans still alive with their new a lot of things better. The new science for philosophy and engineering. And now, from these is past more than 1,000 years. Yes, but this time, some of the new science still developing, engineering, philosopher, and a lot of things like that. But some more, they are not included this. They do not shy. They do not appear of anything. But they actually of this big science change, they still want to change something. This thing is really hard. You know, just 1,000 years ago, it's been like about in the it's like 1,000. These centuries, nothing have appeared. And this time, they just realize that now, they realize that what now we call it, Sahara. You know Sahara? Yes, I know you should know. This is not like a forest. That is desert, with a lot of sunshine, with a lot of sand, very hot. Some white stones placed on the crater. These the nature things, very hot, hottest of all over the world, which is the between the just middle of Africa. Yeah, this country, the Romans want to change it to become a new paradise, which have a lot of beautiful flowers, which have good weather that people can live there, like in America or Europe and Asia. Yes, this Africa, inside it is the Sahara Desert. And now, the Romans want to change it. That's a big idea. Yes, but that's very hard. How can you change from Sahara Desert to a new paradise? That's impossible. Everyone thinks now. But you know, one thing's happened. Yes, that's impossible, but can be possible. That's very hard, but can be easy. That's not very hard like everyone think of your mind, but that need money, scientific philosopher, yes, and the developing of science, technology, and computers, all like that can change the desert. You know, the dream of Romans, old Romans, want to change the desert to the new paradise, and maybe if it's better, they can change it from a very hot Sahara desert, change to the ocean, and the ships, the boat, and every big ocean ships can pass and sail through the Sahara desert this time. That's very hot, of course. That's too hot and not very much minerals. But if this can disappear or it can new change to a paradise, that's not impossible. This can be. It's just hot, but it's not like can't alive. It's not like moon, cold like moon, or hot like the sun or Mercury. It's just a little hot, which is falling about 40 to 50 Celsius from this Celsius degree. Yeah, it's not impossible. And now, of course, the Romans really want to change it. At this time, the old Romans, which have a lot of people, which have an idea like, now they will dug canals, and bring the water from ocean to the Sahara Desert, and falling the water there. And they think that just for some days, which have a lot of water and canals, these can change to be the most beautiful place in the world. But, of course, you know the result. At first, they sailed a lot of ships to this hot land. And to that, they need a lot of workers to dig canals. Yes, very much canals there. And they bring water there, which is put in the plants and bring the water from ocean, supply it in the land, make it become, colder, become cooler, not hot like before of the big, very hot sunshine. Now, of course, that's impossible with this way. The Romans failed. They failed. Why? They dug canals, right? They bring water. But why? They failed. Yes, of course, they have to be failed. If they do not fail, now we never have Sahara Desert. But tell me, why they failed? The reason? Yes, as everyone guessed. Yeah, they are failed because they just look at the surface. They just look at the surface of this desert. Only at the surface. Yes. The surface, that's right. You need to look there. But that's not everything. The hot sunshine come into this desert, bring all the water out of this land and make it have a lot of sand, a lot of bad things. Not bad things, but very hot. Yes, and not very much plants because of now water. Yes, that's right. If they bring water to, the watered the plant there. Yes, and they dug canals to bring the water from the ocean to this place. It's not hard, but just failed. They only looked at the surface of the land. Actually, the reason is not because the surface. It's because another thing. But they just looked at the surface. That's impossible, is a lot of Romans in this time think. It can't be. We dug a lot of canals, but it can't be. Yes, a lot of Romans in this time think like that. And now I'm walking on the Sahara Desert. Yes. And it's not the Sahara Desert like before. This is a new paradise. Yes, you know where I am? Yes, I am Jack from 2070. 2070. Yes, at this time, this Sahara Desert is a paradise, as the Romans think. Actually, how can I come back and tell the story for you? In the 2070, there is a new machine which can help the human come back to the past. Yes, come back. Yes, and I choose that I come back to 2018. I I was born in 2017, and now where I am living is is 2000 and no, you know why? That's difficult. Where I'm living is 2100. That means that I am 30 years old, and I come back to the past to tell you this story. These stories of how I changed the desert to the paradise. Yes, of course, when it is 2017, you will know a man. You will learn in the history which a man called Jack changed the Sahara Desert into paradise. A new paradise at Roman Street. But past it. Now I tell the story of the future and of the past, not the present, of you. When you older and past the time, when now in your day, which is 2017, you will know who am I. Yep. So, should I tell the continuous? Just so you know, the Romans. Yes, I tell that the Romans announced, right? Okay, so you know, now I am walking on Sahara Desert. I'm walking on there. And I just can see a lot of canals. A lot of the canals, which is past. Very much canals of Romans. And the plants which is now no water. A lot of canals, but there are no water inside, just sand. But if you look carefully, you can see this. A lot of canals, which is so deep outside, and which is the water can through past every. But as you know, they failed. So this canal failed too. These help nothing for me. And this is like 1,000 years ago as your present time. Now it is 2018, right? So 1,000 years ago. This is 1018. This time the Romans still alive and dug the canals to change the Sahara Desert become a new paradise. But now, this is the first time trying to change. And now, let's see what it's the second time. Oh yeah, that in this time, maybe you do not know. Yes, in 2013, there is a Spanish man called El Panel Pimento. El Panel Pimento. Do you know this man? Of course. He was born in 2000 and yes. Oh, you know what? He was born in 2013, but now it's 2018. See the difference? Yes, and in 2050, 2050, this man, El Demo Pimento, want to change. He see that before. The Romans want to change the desert. Yes, but now, this time, a lot of science, technology, philosopher, and a lot of engineering principles does become very developing in this time 2050. And which of these Pimento want to change the desert into a new place like the Roman things? The second time trying to change. Yes, this Spanish man, Pimento, is a new scientist, a new philosopher, a new engineering. Yes, he is very good at learning. He know a lot of language, know a lot about science, about philosophy, a lot of things. Now, the second time trying, he want to change Sahara Desert into a sea. Yes, he want everyone to sail ships across the Sahara. He want to make it become nothing in there. Space, just all of this ocean. He want to disappear it, not change it into a new paradise like Romans think. Started from these, this time. He learned from the Romans. He won't dug any canals. He won't bring any water. The Romans before only look at the surface, and now, which is from educational of these type of people. Now, he is trying to change the desert become the ocean. Yes, like so. He do not look at the surface of the land. He look under the ground. Yes, just under the ground can help him, he thought. At this time, this 2050. Now we don't know who is he. But yes, when you grow up and you older, you will know who am I and who is he. But now, let me tell the continued story. Of course, he need a lot of money. Yes, the president and some rich agricultural of the human living of Europe, Spanish, Portuguese, a lot of people give money for him. For make him explore the Sahara Desert and change it. Yes, that's like, the president gave him a lot to change it. He is the most famous scientist in this time. The most famous in the world. At first, he looked under the ground, and his idea is easy. He will not dug canals like before. He made the big water underwater through the Sahara Desert, connect to the ocean and connect to Europe. That will waste a lot of money. But of course, that's not of course, that as I know, not as I know, that as everyone in my centuries know, that he is failed. Yes, he's failed. That's very, very developing, but it still failed. Yes, because why? He just look underground. Yes, he bring water underground from the ocean through Sahara Desert. But it's deep, about 2 meters under the ground. But with this weather, it still it can't connect. The water come there, up, and the water disappeared. He can't realize this very fast, and he don't know why. Now, in this time, I can look at his house. At his house, he lived before he went mad. Mad is very old. He's very old and he went mad and died. Yes, but his project is not finished. From past the time, I have to finish it, I thought. So, in my centuries, in my Akhri-Chambri, I was born in 2017. As 10 or 20 years after, I think of his plan and the Romans' plan. He's failed. He just looked under the ground, which is weather. The water they can't make this duck can up. So this time, I have to change. So with the big develop of the big develop of this time, 2019. With this time, a lot of science educational or science philosopher, a lot of work become stifled. Is developed very fast. Now, this time, I can change the world. So, with this developing, now we can go out of space. Really, it's not rarely like before, like now in this 2018. Going out of space is not very hard like now. It's become, often. Every country can go out of the space and go to Mars, Moon, Venus, and a lot of planets. So with this developer, now we can, invent of the, it's like satellites that can come out of the space and which can see a lot of things out of the space to come here. And as I'm a scientist, I invent a big machine. It's a satellite that can come out of the space and not only can forecast the weather like before, like now, and it can change the weather. That's difficult, but I invent that. Come out of the space, forecast the weather, and change it. That's my sentence of this machine. That was the first time I used my computers to control it. A big room have a lot of computers just to control one machine which can change the weather. So, I changed the weather from hot and, very hot sunshine of the sun come to Sahara Desert. And I control and change it. There's a lot of range. There's a lot of rains from outside the space. Come down there very much. Yes, people really, fantastic when there's a lot of rain falls down. My project is make Sahara Desert to become not a paradise, but is a paradise. I just want to follow the Pimentel ideas that we can sail ships across that. Sails the ships across this like the ocean. But now it's a paradise. There's rain too much, it's rain down and make the Sahara Desert, flooded. It's so fantastic. And for some days later, this grow up. A lot of plants, a lot of things. The water falls outside the ocean. And now, the hot sunshine is lost. Just can become a new paradise. Is my machine. And I need 10 years to work for it. Yes, now I am the most famous scientist in the world which can change the Sahara Desert to become paradise. And now in this time, this called Jack. This is Jack Island in the Africa.